Is yet to face the most dangerous threat which can confront a western cowtown. Rebellious cowboys need only a leader like Manning Clements, the deadliest gunfighter on the brawling Chisholm Trail, to become an invading band of outlaws, determined to kill every peace officer and citizen who stands in their way.
You shoot your mouth off about this, and you'll be in worse trouble.
Right in front of the swan, Mr. Earp. Bleeding all over the place. A man kicking right in the stomach.
You ain't here. Who beat you up, Mr. Haley?
Bennett's bouncer. I run into a crooked feral game. Look at this steel box.
I haven't seen one like that in a long time. Gaffed up like that, you didn't have a chance.
That's why I grabbed it.
Bennett's dealer used this?
Yeah. I swept it into my pocket before they jumped me.
You need a doctor, Mr. Haley.
I need a gun.
You forget about the guns. That's what I get paid for. You men, take him on over to Doc Fabrique's office.
I'm all right.
Now, you go on over there. Forget about Bennett. He's my problem.
All right.
Come on. You ever see this before, Bennett?
Of course not.
They both got your own personal brand of cards in. Only this one's a screw box.
It's not mine.
Mr. Haley gave me this. He said your dealer used it to cheat him. And he's going to repeat that under oath.
I don't think so.
Mr. Haley was a friend of mine. I'd like to return what you gave him. Oh! I'm going to give you 6 hours to close up and get out of town, Bennett.
You can't prove that...
I can prove. You're short in this town. I said 6 hours. Sam, you men about ready?
We're all set here, Marshal.
Good. Oh, Mr. Murdoch. What's the news?
Dave Bennett. He's been squawking about your order.
Well, that's good. Dave's got about the most crooked place I've ever seen.
You just can't tolerate crooked gambling.
No, I like an honest game too much myself. And so does every cowhand I ever met. Gambling house makes plenty of money on its percentage. Dave didn't have to cheat.
Bennett isn't going to take this lying down.
He may have to.
What's the idea of letting Earp run you out of town, Dave? He ain't got no right to close you up.
You get about 3 minutes left, Mr. Bennett.
When I come back here, you won't have 3 minutes.
All I'll need is 3/5 of a second with a Colt 45 if I ever see you in Wichita again.
You're bragging on yourself again, ain't you, Earp?
I don't think so.
You ain't man enough to drink liquor, so you don't like saloons. You're too lazy to work, so you don't like cowhands.
You asking for trouble?
That's just what I'm asking for. Come on, men, let's go get our guns.
All right, now break it up.
Go on, move!
Your time's run out, Mr. Bennett.
Next time you see me in Wichita, you'll be hiding up a trade. Howdy.
Howdy.
Can one of you tell me where I'll find Manning Clements?
Well, Manning's here, but he's in pretty mean mood. If I were you, I'd wait until after sunup.
Well, my business is real urgent.
Over past that big rock. But be sure to call out your name before you ride up.
I know. Thanks.
Manning's killed 26 men. Hey, I wonder if I did the right thing by telling that stranger. 26 poor fellows in their grave.
Hey, Manning. It's Dave Bennett. You remember me?
Come on along. But keep your hands in the air.
This the way you want it?
That's the way I want it.
And with you to lead them, I can round up the boys and we'll tree Wichita to a frazzle. But your main job is to take care of Wyatt Earp.
What's so important about Earp?
He's almost as fast with a gun as you.
How many men has Earp killed?
Nobody yet. He hasn't had to. But he's that fast.
Well, I'm faster. And I always shoot to kill.
Treat Earp that way. You get 200 right now and 200 more after you cut him down.
What is the catch in this?
No catch.
How do I know what I'll run into?
Those rabbits won't fight. Just Earp and a couple of deputies. If it's more money you want...
It ain't the money, Dave. I've cut a man in half with buckshot for $50. And for no money at all.
Well, then what's bothering you?
I don't like towns. You get Earp out here.
Oh, he's not that stupid. He tricked Ben Thompson into surrendering Bill over at Ellsworth.
Ben turned Billy in? Was Ben scared of Earp?
He didn't gun him.
I reckon I'll have to settle up for Bill. I always liked Bill.
Then it's a deal?
No. Maybe it's an ambush in Wichita. Could be you're trying to bait me into a trap.
Where's Laurie?
Why are you asking?
You trust her, don't you?
She's the onlyest one I trust. I'll send her into Wichita.
We haven't got time for that.
I've got time.
Manning, I swear that...
You swear. I'm waiting for Laurie's word on it. And don't you try and tempt me with killing Earp. Because if I go into Wichita, I intend to do a lot more killing than just him. But I ain't riding in there to be ambushed. I'll do the killing.
Sure, Manning. You do the killing.
I'll bring him in. Come on in, men. Marshal, it's Mr. Tom Davidson.
How do you do, sir?
Mr. Davidson, you and your men refused to check your guns, is that correct?
We're not saying any more.
Now, you don't look like the type of man that would want to spend 10 days in jail.
10 days? We can't be in jail when... Manning Clemens is coming to town.
What?
With a lot of cowhands. They aim to tree Wichita. Clemens is going to gun you, Mr. Earp.
Where'd you hear this?
We trailed him from Dodge City. Last night, we joined a cattle outfit driving here. There was a lot of wide-open talk.
You say you were trailing Clemens?
He killed my son. Murdered him in cold blood. Killed my grandson. Killed his brother. Do you blame us for trailing him with guns?
No, sir, I don't. I'm sorry.
Then turn us loose.
Mr. Davidson, are any of you men expert with a gun?
There'll be 5 of us against Clemens.
He'd kill 2 or 3 of you before you got him. That's a big price to pay. I don't think your families would want you to pay it.
I'd pay it. For my boy.
Not in this town, you won't. Mr. Leggett, we'll have to hold him for a day or so. I'm going over to the newspaper office. I'm sorry, gentlemen.
I thought you'd be around.
Oh, you heard about it, huh?
Uh-huh. This might be real rough, Wyatt. Clements is supposed to have killed about 24 men.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him?
Just once in Abilene. An ignorant, savage yahoo. You better start swearing in extra deputies. You'll need at least 50 men.
Hey, have you put your paper across yet?
We lock the forms in an hour. Why?
I'd like you to write me a page 1 editorial, Mr. Murdoch. Please sit down. I'll tell you how I think it ought to go. Could you read that back to me?
Well, a report has reached the Eagle that some brainless, hairy-eared cowhands plan to tree Wichita in the near future. Our informant states that one man in Clements will lead them. This Clements is a horse thief, a common murderer, and a coward. We have questioned Marshal Wyatt Earp about Clements and his associates. Marshal Earp has such a low opinion of Clements that he dismisses the loose talk of a raid on Wichita with hearty laughter. You want to get us all massacred?
It's a good piece, Mr. Murdoch. Please print it.
Oh, now, Wyatt, this is ridiculous.
Look, I want Clements and the cowhands to think we're not taking them seriously. The mob is only one man, its leader. In this case, it's Clements. I'm working on him.
Wyatt, this is the sublimest lot of overconfident nonsense I've ever heard. Now, what's gotten into you?
Clements' girl's in town. She's drifting around the saloons and asking questions about you, Marshal.
Oh, well, that's good. I'd like to know her name and where I can find her.
Her name's Laurie Castle. She's stopping over at the Texas house.
I think I'll walk around. Oh, will you print that for me?
Mm-hmm. Along with your obituary.
Pardon me. Are you Wyatt Earp?
Yes, and that's right.
Mr. Earp, I'm Laurie Castle.
Miss Castle.
I've heard so much about you that I didn't want to leave town without saying howdy.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, wait, Mr. Earp. Just saying howdy isn't all.
Oh?
It's business. Won't you come over and sit down for a minute?
Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I do have my afternoon calls.
It won't take long. Please. My name doesn't mean anything to you.
No, I'm sorry. Should it?
I have a gentleman friend who's quite well known. Mr. Manon Clements.
Clements? Seems like I recall the name, but I...
Oh, this is a surprise. How come they let you be marshal here if you don't know about Mr. Manon Clements?
Seems I remember a family in northern Illinois by the name of Clements. Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Clements got into a few gunfights, didn't he?
But none of them was really his fault, Mr. Earp.
Oh. Well, of course, he's been in no trouble around Wichita here, but... well, does this business that you mentioned, does that concern Mr. Clements?
Oh, it might, yes. Don't tell me you haven't heard the talk.
No, something in particular?
They say that Mr. Clements is going to help the cowhands tree Wichita.
Now, why would he want to do that? I don't understand.
Mr. Clements has a friend by the name of Dave Bennett. He talked Manon into it.
He did?
But I can talk Manon out of it. That is, if I got paid for my trouble. Wouldn't the businessmen here think it would be worth some money to head off the cowhands?
They might, but exactly how would you persuade Mr. Clements?
I know him sociably quite well.
Oh. Well, when would you expect the money?
In advance, just as soon as it can be collected.
How much?
Seems like it would be worth $500.
Might be, but, well, I'd have to know a little bit more about how you expect to handle Mr. Clemens.
Well, he's right fond of me. And if I requested him, you want the solemn truth? I can scare Manning. I'm the only living soul who can scare him.
Oh, now, Miss Castle.
It's the truth. I can tell him you're setting up a surprise for him here. Mr. Clemens doesn't like to be surprised in a town like the James boys were. I can tell him he'll be trapped in an ambush.
Well, of course, none of that would be the truth.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
You see, Miss Castle, our mayor and the businessmen, they don't want me to fight the cattlemen. No. And Bennett knows that, and he'd tell your friend, Mr. Clemens. So you just have to think up something more scarier.
All right. I got something a heap sight scarier.
To tell you the truth, I didn't think anything could scare Clemens.
Seems like you keep on calling me a liar. I've said all I'm going to say.
Well, now, I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to offend you.
Even if I told you the real secret, you wouldn't believe me.
I can't very well raise $500 for a secret you won't tell me.
Manning's scared of graveyards.
Graveyards?
It's the truth. I can tell him I dreamed of a graveyard and he'll right out for the panhandle.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Castle. The deal's off.
What?
Well, I couldn't raise $500 for a yarn like that. People would laugh at me right out of town.
You're a stupid fool. You'll be dead tomorrow.
Graveyards.
Mr. Clemens, have you seen the Wichita Eagle paper?
Don't bother me.
Well, they called you a coward and lots of other names, too.
They've said a lot worse things about me. Come on, play poker.
Doesn't it make you sore to have Earp call you a nobody? That we're bluffing?
What took you so long?
I talked to that Earp in town. He's a fool. The Eagle paper doesn't put much stock in you, Manning. Nobody in Wichita's laying for you. And Earp hasn't even put on special deputies.
You didn't see no sign of an ambush?
Area one. You and the cowhands can go through that town easy. Kill Earp for me if you can find him.
Well, Manning, you satisfied now?
I don't know. Sounds too good.
Oh, you don't trust me anymore?
No, I trust you.
Saddle and ride.
We'll hit Wichita early.
Yeah! Thank you. So much.
Well, we've armed about 50 men, Mr. Murdoch. So if I can't stop Clemens here at the edge of town, we can cut his outfit to pieces when he crosses the city line.
Why try to stop Clemens and turn the others back? Let them come in town, take their medicine.
That's right.
Look, I started all this by closing Bennett's saloon. I'm going to finish it without getting a lot of people hurt.
All right. You ride out there alone. What happens? Clemens won't palaver.
I'm paid to take chances. If my plan works, people won't be killing and getting killed all over town.
Well, yes, but if it doesn't work?
So bury me.
Just as Laurie told you, they didn't believe we'd come. It looks awful quiet. Is that Earp? Get him now.
I don't shoot from a horse.
Mr. Clements, I want to talk to you.
Get on off your horse and I'll get off mine.
In a minute. But first I want to warn you, I have 80 men just waiting for you to cross the line.
You're bluffing. Bushwhacked. You and Laurie lied to me.
Now, it'll be an even fight if you come into town. We'll lose men, and so will you. All Dave wants is me. I'm the one your crowd is sore at, not Wichita. So let you and me settle it, Mr. Clements.
Get off your horse.
Not here. When I drop you, I don't want 50 bullets in my gizzard. We'll ride into the lumber yard and shoot it out in private.
Get him quick. He'll drop me. I can gun him in a fair fight. How do I know you haven't got men in there?
I don't need any help.
You talk brave, Mr. Earp.
Picked a mighty nice morning to die, Mr. Clements.
Kill him, Manning?
You wanted me ambushed.
You can ride in that truck if you want to. Not me.
What happened between you and Clements?
Saw an open grave with his name on it. It's too bad about Bennett. Should have died on the gallows. You tell Doc Fabrique I want him laid out in style for all crooked gamblers to pay their respects.
Yes, Mr. Earp.